Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is some footage from my last session before Nationals. We left early Tuesday morning and arrived Tuesday evening. It was like almost 12 hours of travel because there was a layover, and then we got our car, got our hotel room, got some food, and then got to the gym, and it was, I think, definitely past 10, almost 11. This was very similar to the Ohio trip itinerary, but this time we had a rental car, which was necessary because Atlanta is actually quite spread out. So we visited DNA Strength, and that's about a 30 to 40 minute drive from the airport, and there aren't that many options for powerlifting gyms close to where we were staying, which is by the venue. We got to the gym a little bit later than we were expecting, but this gym had set up a pretty good day pass situation where you could book it online and it would give you a code so you could open the door because it's a 24-hour gym. But because the owners knew we were in town for Nationals and it was going to be a really busy week, they actually stayed and manned the gym, so we didn't have to test out the door code thing, and they gave us a small tour and they talked to us about the gym, and the equipment there was awesome. And again, it was one of those facilities I feel like I would definitely go to. Like, I would make this my gym if I lived there. After a long day of travel, Grant decided to max his deadlifts and also his strict overhead press. And of course, that is beltless deadlifts and overhead press in the combo rack. My last few lifts felt pretty good. I did something a little bit different this time because from my last meet, which I trained through, I actually felt pretty good the day of, even though I did my last training sessions, like no taper, just regular training sessions, about 36 hours before that meet. And I felt like my bench was feeling pretty good for that, so I wanted to add in some extra sets this time. This is the hotel view of the airport. Heading to equipment check.
That's me.
No, you're not in the video, don't worry. This is the contents of my luggage.
We need some pictures after, not before right now. Or the pounds though.
Can we weigh in someone when y'all get a chance?
Yeah, we're almost done.
Okay.
And then this one. It's like the same.
We want to let you digest your food before you like violently force it out of your body. The other side of this building.
I think it's behind the Marriott.
Now just go straight. Like go.
To get harder from there. As you said, a relatively quick flight here in the prime time. I believe a flight of 13.
Michellelin, 145 kilos, as we stay in the 57 kilo class. And there are some heavy hitters sprinkled into this roster. World record breakers, world title holders.
And there's a good lift, 3 white lights. Of competition, as well as it's a weight that you've never had on your back in competition before. There's a lot of variables going into it that can make you nervous.
152 and a half. We are in the 57 kilo class. Michellelin.
Yeah, definite contender for podium today. very tidy squat with that narrow stance.
That is a good look for Michelle.
Last competed in November with a 47.5 total, so it'll be interesting to see what she puts on that today.
Rosaria Harmoni Metzinger. She is a 52-kilo lifter. Bar is loaded. Come on out.
Michellelin, 157.5 for her third and final squat in the 57-kilo class.
This will be a PR on her third attempt, pacing to podium today. Such a tidy squatter.
3 for 3. And could a podium finish be within her grasp?
Her final squat attempt will be 363 pounds.
Relatively small footprint, keeping a tight, not spreading the base. Michellelin, 100 kilos even for her opening bench in the 57-kilo class.
At home, you're watching the Powerlifting America Classic Open and University Nationals.
While Mariah and Natalie battle it out, Michelle very close as well.
Yeah, her PR total only 5 kilos behind that of Mariah's.
If Natalie can force these women to battle it out amongst each other for that silver and clinch that gold, 105 for Michellelin in the 57-kilo class as Michelle hunts down Mariah Bolton, looking to battle for second place.
Just 2.5 kilos below her personal best here. Ooh, and it seems to be...
Yeah, and those arms are shaking, not sure if a little bit of loss of tension. Those are kilos she could use.
Yeah, did her elbows go under? I want to have a look at that again on the replay if possible, because quite unexpected based on how her second moved. We'll have to wait and see what they do for the third.
Leaves the platform. Michellelin now retaking 105, and all is not lost if she could hit this.
Yeah, it just seems like she maybe lost tension on the chest, but she could not budge it from her chest. So we'll keep an eye on that, and hopefully it is a technical error rather than anything else. Based on the 100, you would expect it to be. We'll have to wait and see now.
Looks like she's heading towards a podium, but what color is that medal? Whoa, there it is. That looks much, much better. And that looked like a second attempt should move. It looks like 105 was an appropriate attempt selection for a second.
Yeah, usually, I say tentatively, because not always. Snappier off the floor and more tricky towards lockout.
Michellelin, 57-kilo class, 170 on the bar for her opening pull.
Michellelin is a 57-kilo lifter.
Michelle. Oh, very easy, smooth opener there. A lot more kilos.
Yeah, and other than missing one bench press, I believe, having a really excellent showing today.
396 is our next weight.
Michellelin now looking to close the gap in the 57-kilo class. Michelle pacing for a medal, but would love the opportunity to swap the bronze for silver. 180, 10-kilo jump.
Yeah, not too much separates them at all at this point.
Oh, and she's got a lot more despite that 10-kilo jump, Amelia.
The lift is good.
It's a good lift, 3 white lights. Yeah, at this point, Michelle and...
To do, and the battle in the 57s has lived up. Will Michelle stick with 190 in a 452.5? It looks like she might. And she will, and that'll be your silver bronze medalist, Michellelin.
That's a great final pull from Michelle.
Yep.
Another 10-kilo jump, as you said. A great way to the end of the day with 3 white lights. And the question is, you know, should that technical issue not have happened on her second bench, what the story would have been here.
Here's the 57s, though. As we look back, Natalie Richards, 482.5, punching your ticket to Worlds and
Michellelin. And your winner up in 57s, Mariah Bolden.
Overall, I am happy with my performance. I can't be upset about total PRs, especially 10 years into competing. I am really bummed about my second bench though. I don't know what happened, but my legs cramped and then I just dropped the weight on me in a way that made it hard to press. So the 105 kilo bench was a very comfortable weight for me, and I think I could have considered going more aggressive on my third and maybe going for like 107 or my planned third, but my shoulder immediately hurt because I dumped the weight on it, so it was safer just to retake it. And luckily that bench dumping didn't bother me for deadlifts, so I already feel pretty lucky to have walked away with a PR total. A more positive surprise on the day was deadlifts felt really good. I felt like the days leading up to the meet gave me enough time to rest, and so my deadlifts felt easier than they did in training. Another interesting thing is squats have become my more poverty lift, or the lift that's the furthest behind. And squats have always felt really comfortable for me. I tend to be a bit more upright. I'm a smaller person and I don't have very long femurs. I actually have really short femurs, but I have a really long back. And so when the weight gets heavy, it gets hard for me to maintain that position. As of right now, I'm not sure when my next meet will be. The ones that I had on my mind they're all invite only, so I'm not really sure if I'll have the option to do any other meets this year. Regardless, I do feel like the prep went overall really well. I'm really happy with my training, and I'm going to continue to work on things to make me a better and healthier lifter for next time. I'm back to higher volume, lighter weight for the next few weeks, and then I will be taking a couple weeks off to go on a trip to somewhere I have never been before. It will be a more adventurous trip, not lifting related, and I'm not sure if I'll have access to any barbells. So it's a good time to just kind of take a rest and let my body just chill for a bit. And I will be sure to share those adventures with you. If you've made it this far, thanks so much for watching the live stream footage and listening to my thoughts on how the meet went. For those of you who may be heading to Atlanta, the Georgia Aquarium is definitely worth visiting. We were there for about 7 hours. We watched both of the shows that they were offering. We booked an otter experience, so we got to meet and pet some otters. I would highly recommend visiting if you have some time. I did just want to make a note about my weight cut for future me or anyone who might be trying to make weight in the near future. I always worry about making weight until I've stepped on the scale and I'm okay. But I do have a process for cutting weight that involves fiber being really low, and I do a slight water cut, just like a very basic water cut. And because of that, Grant had to remind me that it takes time for my body to actually pee out the water that I had been ingesting for the few days before. And I made weight perfectly, but of course I worry about it for like the whole day leading up to it. And especially because my last meet, the scale wasn't calibrated, and that was like a whole morning fiasco. I was a little worried this time, but things went really good. We tested out all of the meat scales that they were possibly going to use the night before. We even went to the Olympic weightlifting side and tested their scales and compared it to the one that I brought. And so we had a good idea of what I needed to weigh on my scale to be okay. So I'm slowly starting to add in calories again, and I'm going to take it easy while I'm traveling for the next couple weeks, but then when I return, I will definitely try to slowly build muscle again to have something to cut from. Another thing I wanted to note for my prep was I started to have really strange tightness on my right side, kind of in the QL region, a few weeks before the meet, and it wasn't pain, but it made me feel like I had a really hard time breathing and just expanding to get more air. And since then, I've started to do some exercises that might help to stretch out or use that region, use those muscles, and I have felt a lot better this week. But the few days after the meet, it was kind of worse than the days leading into the meet, just from not lifting for a few days after. Just everything kind of tightened, and now that I've found some exercises that might help it out, I'm feeling a little bit more positive, because it definitely felt like I was just suffocating myself with my muscles for a few days. So if that ever happens again, note to future me, do those exercises. Thanks so much for watching.